this is our first step in our making a 3D model of a theater process, and that is going to be to pull in a couple of files that are going to act as our templates. So you are very lucky. You are doing a show imaginarily in the Gary Marshall Theater, formerly known as the Falcon Theater in Burbank. And lucky day that it is, there are existing AutoCAD drawings of that space. However, they are 2D AutoCAD files, which are kind of whack and not super useful to you because you're a Vectorworks drafter and you want everything in 3D because it'll make your life so much better. So, as it turns out, we're going to grab those couple of 2D AutoCAD files. We're going to bring them into Vectorworks. I'm going to show you how I tend to set things like that up, and where I place those layers and what the settings I'll do in order to get them all happy and friends together in my new Vectorworks file. So I created a new document. I'm going to name it right quick. Oh, not Camtasia, Vectorworks. Let's go ahead and save this new file that I created using my template file. Just thinking about it, everything is slower when you're living this particular life. I don't want this folder, I want the one for CAD. And let's pop it right in here. That's not how you spell Gary, but we'll get back to that. So this is going to be great. New file. There she is. I'm also going to go over to the old module 7. I would have downloaded this Gary Marshall plan and Gary Marshall section. Those two files are going to come in as xplan and xsec, which is a pretty standard like drawing label name, right, for various files. So those two are existing files that you will download. Let's presume I've downloaded them already, so they are chilling in this folder over here. Let's spell that correctly. So I have my xplan and my xsec in my folder. Now I'm going to come in here. We're going to go to File. We're going to go to Import down here. Import, and I'm going to import a single DXF/DWG. I'm importing DWG files. Those are AutoCAD standard files. I would like one of them, please, and I would like them to be from this adorable folder that I have just located. Let's start with the plan view. Open that. It's gonna do a bunch of stuff. I'm cool with all of that, okay? I just use all of my default settings, and once we get there, click OK. It's doing this deal. This is all okay with me, again, for now, right? Because I'm just using this as a tracing map. I'm not actually using any of these line weights as colors. Arial, sounds great, okay. There it is. Import succeeded. Okay, great. So here is that file. You zoom in a little bit, you're going to see it has yellow lines, it has pink lines and green lines and all that happy stuff, okay? It's also from the perspective of the stage facing the house, which is not my favorite way, but it's cool. When it came in as its own design layer over here, xplan. In my life, I like to stack it down on the bottom just so that it's not gonna be, so that it's underneath everything else that I'm messing with. It also is going to bring in with it a bunch of all caps classes because AutoCAD doesn't have design layers the way that Vectorworks does. Everything is a class. So all of these things, we should turn them back on, right? So you can actually see them. There's text, there's non-plot, and the catwalks are yellow. So with everything turned on, this is what that actually looks like as a total file. So if you kind of zoom in, you'll see the yellow of the catwalks. You'll see where is a catwalk and where is open to below, etc. Okay? For now, I'm less worried about catwalks. We're not going to draw them in this initial pass, although feel free to, go for the extra credit. Cool for you. I am going to turn everything on so that I can select this entire piece and group it, Command G or Control G on a PC, so that now it acts as one unit. Just for my sanity. I'm also going to flip it over because I would rather that it be facing towards the stage, because then when I'm drafting a set, for example, I would be flipping into my 3D view and I'd be looking at the stage instead of looking at the seating, if that makes sense. That's a preference of mine. You do you. But if it's mine, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now I'm looking at the stage side as opposed to the house side. The next thing I'm going to do while I'm in here, and I'm still drawing on this none layer, which is my favorite layer right now, but I'm also drawing here. There's a little pencil here that everything flashes green. That's actually not what I need. That's just going to change the name. I'm going to right click here and go to edit. When I do that, I notice that my scale is 1 to 50. That is not a standard scale. So one of the first things I want to do is switch myself from a metric or engineering scale into my regular old 1/4 inch scale or 1/2 inch scale, whatever the rest of my drawing is. So to figure that out, let's go see what the rest of the drawing is. So if I double click on that stack of layers, everything else is in 1 to 48, which means everything else is in 1/4 inch scale. This guy is in 1 to 50. Let's edit him. Change this scale to 1/4 inch scale. That's 1 to 48. 1 to 48. Okay. Okay. So now everybody's playing nicely together, which is great. So now the scale of my drawing is unified, which is going to make my life way, way better in general. The last thing I want to do, and I'm going to do it by creating a locus, is I want to place the center of my drawing at the center of the page. So I just clicked one time to lock that locus in, and now 0, 0, that's the locus. That is the center of the page. I'm going to grab my theater drawing, and then typically the location I choose to be the page center would be the intersection of the center line and the plaster line. This doesn't have a physical proscenium, but we can get pretty close by snapping a line here and then grabbing it from its midpoint, placing this at the center of the world. So I'm just going to select the group as well as that line, and then pick it up from that midpoint of that line and align it to that locus that I just created, which is at 0, 0. Go up from your midpoint, pop you down at your locus. Okay. So now I don't need that locus anymore or that construction line. I can just, oops, not everything. Not the whole shebang. Undo. There we go. I can just delete those two objects. Okay. So that is the prep I'm going to do on the theater building itself. I am now going to go back into my classes and turn off catwalks because they are only confusing for me. So let's turn off the catwalks. Let's turn off the text, right? Because that's not helping me at all. I'm also going to turn off this track. That track over the stage is like a piece of curtain track that I'm not interested in playing with. So I'm going to just turn that off for now. And what else do I maybe not need? Maybe I'll turn off this acoustical. The acoustical is the pink that's just kind of shapy, but I don't actually want to play that game. So let's turn off acoustical. It's going to make it a little cleaner for me to trace. Aisle? Oh, definitely need that. Definitely want the aisle. Okay. The center line is cool. We'll keep the center line. I'm struggling to see it, so if I want to come in here and edit it, I can change its color, right? Its line color to something more visible. Let's make it purple instead. And change that and click OK. Now it's purple. I can actually see it. That helps me way more. Anything else I care about that I can hide? Nope. I think we're good. Great. Good for now. Okay. So my next move is to bring in the section view. We're going to do a lot of the same steps. We're going to pull it in. It's going to come in as its own layer. We're going to make sure that it's the right scale. So let's import a single DXF exsec, open sesame. I just let it do all of its default things for now until I care in some other direction. There it is. So there's my section view. Great, okay. I'm just gonna grab it. So I did Command A to select all. I'm gonna group it. And I'm gonna move it over here just so that it's not overlapping with my existing drawing. So this section view will be primarily used by me as a reference. So I'm mostly gonna just like come in here and be like, wait, what does the section look like? Got it, okay. And then come back over here and draw. So that's how that's gonna go. I do want to make sure that it is the proper scale. And I do also want it to be down here in the bottom, right? Because I don't want it to be the drawing layer. So let's edit that. Let's change its scale to 1/4 inch scale so that they can all be friends. Great. Oh, so much happier. And some of those things I turned off have come back because a new file now has those same classes. So I can turn the catwalks off again, right? I can turn the text off again for now, okay? Just because those things are only going to be confusing to me over my ground plan. So now I'm going to save this and I'll start a new video for the second phase of this drawing process.